Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Office Bloke Aidan.
I'm Office Bloke Daz.
Today we have on the Sports Edition channel, how good is Victor Wembanyama actually?
I've never seen him play.
I don't really know, to be fair. I've seen clips of him. I've never actually seen him play a game.
My only thing with Wembanyama is he just looks a little bit too slight.
Yeah,
he's
too lanky.
Too lanky, yeah. He looks a little bit too thin to compete in the NBA.
Yeah, but then you have people like Kevin Durant who doesn't.
I think Kevin Durant might be a one-off. I'm hoping Wembanyama's the same. That he comes in and he proves I'm wrong. That he's going to be a superstar.
Like when you look at like people like Giannis Antetokounmpo, when he came in, he was very skinny, and now he's
not as skinny as Wembanyama though.
Now he's a Greek freak.
Greek freak, I know, but not as skinny as Wembanyama.
And not as tall as him.
He just looks like being Polish, sort of like.
You're never gonna be like how hard it must be to not look lanky at that height.
Oh no! What is he? 7'4"?
Yeah,
he's a giant.
And like if he was like 5'8", he probably wouldn't even be seen as that lanky.
No,
or like as like that skinny.
Yeah, but he just I don't know. I'm going to watch him this season to see how he does. I'm hoping he does well.
I think he'll do well, but one thing I don't feel like he is very good at is defense.
Well, let's see how good he is actually.
Let's have a look.
Yeah.
He has a combination of things that we have never seen.
He can revolutionize the game.
The singular greatest prospect in NBA draft history.
I think everybody's been a unicorn over the last few years, but he's more like an alien.
He kept it play by Wembanyama. Wembanyama for three. Come on. Wembanyama up top, throwing it down.
The league's really in trouble when he comes in.
Victor Wembanyama is probably the most hyped NBA draft prospect since... No.
LeBron James, surely.
Close, but no. Well, since LeBron, honestly. Wemby seems to be the ultimate NBA unicorn, somehow even more so than other guys he's been compared to, like Porzingis and Chet. He stands at 7 feet 4 inches tall with a wingspan of 8 feet. This is a kid who makes a guy nicknamed the Stifle Tower look small by comparison. But he doesn't just have the measurements, because the kid can play. He's the complete package, and he really doesn't seem to have a weakness in his game. But in all sports, we've heard of can't miss prospects before. That definitely did miss. So, will Wemby be LeBron? Highly doubt it. But will he be a bust? Also highly doubt it. So, just how good is Victor Wembanyama? Well, the short answer is we won't know until he takes the court for the Spurs. The long answer is probably pretty good, but there's also some concerns. Before we talk about Wemby's game, though, let's talk a little bit about who he's been playing against. For the last 3 years, Wemby has been playing in the LNB Pro A, the top basketball league in France. A league that in the grand scheme of European basketball is okay. They aren't bad by any means, but they definitely aren't viewed as being as strong as the leagues in Spain, Greece, or Turkey. Just look at EuroLeague titles. The French league has only ever produced one EuroLeague champion. Spain, on the other hand, has 14 winners, Greece has 9, and Turkey has 3. So the competition that Wemby's been facing, far from the best, but also far from...
So I didn't realize it was so big in Spain.
Yeah, because Barcelona have got a team, haven't they?
So is Real Madrid.
Real Madrid, yeah. That's the only reason I know there's a league there.
Yeah.
Because I've seen the Barcelona team. But
I didn't realise it was that big though.
It must be like the only problem I have with people like it was 7'4", and I said it once before when.
Oh, you've got a problem, have you?
No,
you're going to square up to him.
No, I wouldn't square up to his knob.
Belly boy.
It's about as high as I'm going to be getting on there. But I think he's the impact on his knees and his ankles and things like that must be tremendous.
Especially like playing
the
basketball.
Impact of basketball, yeah. And that's what it's going to be. That's the only thing I'm thinking is going to hold him back.
Do you reckon he can like put the ball in the hoop without like jumping?
How tall is the hoop? 12 foot.
10.
10 foot is it? So he's 7'4", and then he's
and if he
above
goes
3
like,
foot.
and if his wingspan's arms must be 4 foot.
Yeah.
But looking at it, you can just put it in.
You got from there to there, though, haven't you?
Yeah, true.
Sort of thing. So you're not going to be 4 foot.
Like 3 foot.
Yeah. So he won't be far off, will he?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
From the worst. Let's talk about Wemby's game though, and let's get the bad stuff out of the way, because there's really only 2 potential problems. Firstly is his frame. Wemby is listed at 7'4" and between 210 and 230. It depends on the source. And his light frame has been a big source of discussion. It definitely has its upsides. His lower weight means he moves well and has good agility for his size, but many have questioned how he will fare in the post against the NBA's elite centers.
Yeah.
Embiid, Jokic, Cat, Bam all tip the scales at over 245 pounds, and Embiid and Jokic are over 280. Now, Wemby's not going to be playing against those guys every single night, but NBA centers are on average much bigger than the centers he's been playing against in Europe. up. To put it into perspective, there are only 5 players in the French league who had a higher listed weight than the NBA's league average weight for centers. It's believed by many that Wemby's gonna have to put on some pounds if he's gonna survive against the bigger, stronger players of the NBA. But can he? Well, maybe. He is only 19 after all, but most guys who come into the league with his frame aren't exactly shredded a couple years later. Giannis is the exception, but people are already expecting Wemby to be LeBron, so let's not also expect him to be Giannis. But if Wemby can't put on the extra weight, he might struggle to hold up against the NBA big men, and that brings us to our second concern: injuries. Whether it's fair or not to make this assumption, it's been pretty consistent throughout NBA history that players of Wemby's size struggle with injuries. George Mirasan, Sean Bradley, Yao Ming, Porzingis, hell, even Chet, who's probably Wemby's best NBA comp, missed his entire rookie season with a broken foot. Even Kevin Durant, who is at least 4 inches...
That Chet guy, man, he makes me laugh, you know, because I've only ever really... I don't really know much about him, but I've seen a video of him, like, interviewed by the NBA, and they're like, who's the best player in the NBA? And he just goes, me in 2 months, and then got injured for the whole season.
I've never heard of him. But both things we're talking about now is what I've said with the injuries and his frame.
Yeah.
And when you look at a young Giannis, he looks like a bit like Mbappe.
He does, yeah.
Young Giannis looks like Mbappe, yeah.
Same haircut. Yeah.
With a broken foot. Even Kevin Durant, who is at least 4 inches shorter and 10 to 20 pounds heavier, has struggled with injuries throughout his career. I don't wish injuries on
10 to 20
anyone,
pounds heavier.
but if we just base it off of history, it's more likely than not that Wemby is gonna have some injury struggles in his career. And the thing that really sucks about Wemby's negatives is that they're largely out of his control. He can work as hard as he wants to put on weight, but his body may just not develop that way. And you can take every measure possible to prevent injuries, but they can still strike you at any time. That's the negatives though, but what about the positives? Well, there's a whole bunch of those. Firstly, while his weight is definitely a concern, basketball is still a sport that selects out for height. And I don't know if anybody's noticed, but Wemby is huge. He stands 7'4" with an 8-foot wingspan, meaning good luck getting any shot off over him. He averaged over 3 blocks per game, and even when he isn't blocking your shot, he's definitely altering it.
With the blow by, oh, Wembanyama!
He's got excellent timing and defensive instincts, and one of the most underrated aspects of his game is that he avoids fouling. He averaged only 2 fouls per game despite playing over 30 minutes a night. He's able to stay disciplined and avoid picking up dumb fouls, which is something that a lot of bigs in the NBA struggle with. Looking at you, Cat. In addition to his impressive interior defense, his exceptional agility for his size allows him to hold his own when forced to defend on the perimeter. If he can hold up physically, Wemby is going to be a game-changing defensive presence. And on offense, oh, it just gets even better. In the past 10 years or so in the NBA, we've seen the rise of point centers who can not only score in the post, but can also handle the ball on the perimeter. Hell, arguably the best player in the world right now is a point center, and Wemby is made of that mold. Now, he's never going to be even remotely close to the passer that Jokic is. At best, he's an average playmaker, but his ball handling is incredible for his size. He's a 7'4" center who can face up and attack the basket off the dribble. Think about that for a second. He's 7'4" and can face up and attack the rim. He's 7'4" and he can cross you up and then dunk on you if you're dumb enough to try to block him. He's 7'4" and he can hit step back threes. Step back threes! And he makes it look easy. Pretty sure the man upstairs has made like 4 to 5 guys Wemby size who can actually do that. And in the grand scheme of things, Wemby might be the best at it. But while he's got the perimeter skills, he's also a great traditional big man. Now, I do love me some modern basketball with all the three-pointers and the wide open space and the fast breaks and whatnot. That's all fine. But my secret basketball kink is low post play. I grew up playing center, I can't help it. And I tell you, I could watch Wemby play in the post all day long. He's got great post moves, excellent footwork, he's patient, and he's got one of the smoothest post fadeaways I've ever seen. Oh God, it's beautiful. Seriously, this stuff is my jam. I love this kind of play, and Wemby is so good at it. In addition to his post to mid-range shooting game, he also shows great potential as a three-point shooter.
Step back over Monty Eunice. Drills it! Oh, Wembanyama magnifique.
His jumper is really clean, if somewhat inconsistent. He only shot 27.5% from 3 of this last season in France, which leaves a lot of room for improvement, but he's definitely got a good foundation. And if we look at his free throw shooting, which is generally a really good barometer for overall shooting ability, he's perfectly fine. He shoots 83%. And also, I need to keep saying it because it doesn't sound real. He's 7'4", and he can hit step-back threes. And because he's 7'4", it's borderline impossible to block him. The best you can hope for is just trying to bother him a little bit. Everything about his jumper just looks clean and smooth, and if I were to describe Wemby's offensive game in one word, it's just that, smooth. A lot of big men in the NBA look kind of clumsy and a little bit raw, especially the younger guys without a whole lot of experience. Not Wemby. Everything looks so easy for him out there. He moves as naturally as guys half his size on the perimeter and as well as the most polished big men in the post. And really, that's Wemby's greatest strength, his mobility. Wemby's mobility is genuinely unbelievable for a man his size, and it enhances every aspect of his game. We all remember that viral clip of him missing a 3 and then getting his own putback dunk? Well, it went viral for a reason, because guys that size are not supposed to move like that.
It's just once they get used
They only play against Monaco or something.
Yeah.
to
Two-team
the
league.
physicality of the game, they're able to do certain things. As you see him right there, howling the rock with his step back, his skill set is wow. See what I mean? That's just amazing.
I mentioned before, but on the defensive end, his mobility prevents him from becoming a total liability on the perimeter like so many big men in the NBA are today. His closest comp in the NBA that's actually played, Kristaps Porzingis, is notoriously bad in the pick and roll due to his lack of mobility, something that Wemby doesn't really seem to have a problem with. And on offense, his mobility is basically the reason he has a face-up game. All this is just an analysis though, and like I said at the beginning, we won't know how good he actually is until he takes the court in the NBA. But as one last little bit of info, let's compare him to some other NBA players who starred in Europe. Kristaps Porzingis, Luka Doncic, and Nikola Jokic. Keep in mind Wemby's stats from his last season in France. 21.5 points per game, 10.5 rebounds per game, 2.5 assists per game on 47% shooting from the field, 27.5% from 3 in 32 minutes a game. Porzingis in his last year for Sevilla in Spain averaged 10.5 points, 5 rebounds, and half an assist in 22 minutes per game. 47% shooting from the field and 31% shooting from 3, by the way. Luka Doncic in his last year at Real Madrid averaged 12.8 points, 5.7 rebounds, and 5 assists in 24 minutes per game, shooting 46% from the field and 28% from 3. And Nikola Jokic in his last year in
I'm guessing they're different leagues though, aren't they?
Yeah, they are, but like
it's like comparing, you're comparing something that's very low end in France to something that's a little bit higher up in Spain.
Even I'm talking like Luka Doncic's.
Yeah, I know, but he's playing in a harder league. That's what I'm saying. Doncic played for Real Madrid.
No, Spain. I know, but why? It's not harder than the NBA, and Doncic gets more in the NBA.
I know that, but he's developed, and I think that's what will happen with Wembanyama. I think what he'll do, he'll come in and obviously he's going to develop in the NBA because it's the best basketball league in the world.
Best coaches and that.
Best coaches, best everything, best facilities. You've got everything going for you when you come to the NBA. But my only thing is it's hard to compare something for the NBA when you've played at such low level. I've seen junior football players, soccer players playing, and I'm thinking they're really good. As soon as they go in the Premier League, bang average.
Yeah.
And that's what I think you might get with Wembanyama. He's going to get bullied in the NBA. He's going to get pushed around.
Yeah.
Because his frame's not there, and he will get shoved around.
The NBA is soft now, though. You get fouls for anything.
That's the other thing I was going to mention. That's what he's got going for him.
Yeah.
That he's kind of softened up as far as like different things go, so it might suit his game a little bit better.
I can imagine him trying to guard Shaq back in the day. It's never going to happen.
Yeah, it'd be like be use him as a toothpick.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. He'd be throwing him all over the place.
Toothpick.
Serbia averaged 16.5 points, 9.7 rebounds, and 3.2 assists in 29.5 minutes per game, shooting 52.5% from the field and 32.6% from 3. So really the only guy who rivaled Wemby is Jokic, who didn't score quite as much but was a little bit more efficient. And I really don't think you could come up with a more apt description of Jokic's game if you tried. Compared to Luka and Porzingis, though, he outscored and out-rebounded both of them while shooting comparable percentages from the field, although he did play more minutes per game. So just how good will Wemby be? Honestly, pretty damn good, I think, but let's temper out the expectations a little bit. Like, if he's on the level of Hakeem, his career isn't a failure, Chris Broussard. Like, come on.
If he's Hakeem Olajuwon, he has not met expectations. Okay.
Thanks for watching, guys. This video was written and narrated by Synthetic Sports, so if you enjoyed it, consider checking out my channel. Link is going to be down.
Yeah, I like the channel. But I just think he's being hyped up a little bit too much.
Do you reckon? Do you reckon he's going to be worse than people expect him to be?
Yeah. I think he's just got. They've hyped him up to be this like phenomenon that's coming into the game.
Got there in the end.
A phenom, whatever you want to say, coming into the game, and I don't think he's going to have it. I don't think he's going to get that. I think he's just going to be that step up. I'm not sure people coming from that French league. I know people have done it, but coming from the French league into the NBA, it's a massive step up. I'd like to see how he would do against college basketball players. You know, in the NCAA, something like that, and see how he does. See how he compares.
But
in them
actually
games.
play against the people in his draft class.
Yeah,
so you
correct.
can almost compare
it,
him a bit more.
Yeah. And I'm sure they scouted him in a big way because he's #1 draft pick. So I'm sure he's been scouted and watched and looked at, and
everyone
they know better.
Like whoever was #1 would have picked him. So it's obviously
he's got something. Yeah. I mean, he's got 7'4". Is what he's got.
Yeah, true.
You know, and he's the big man. Yeah. But at the same time, I just think his frame's a little bit too slight, and he's got to be careful with injuries. And them knees and ankles and Achilles and all that kind of stuff don't hold up to that kind of height and impact.
I feel like in the paint he'll get bullied a little bit as well.
I think he will. I think he definitely will. You know, these guys are twice physique.
But if he starts shooting threes, like, I reckon he'll be good, but I don't reckon he'll be like. He's not going to take the Spurs to the playoffs.
No, when you've got the ball there, and he's doing he's doing his step back threes and all that kind of stuff. It's all right doing it in the French league. The players are not as good that are coming at you. You do that in the NBA, the players are close. The space you get in the NBA is not the same as what you'll get in France. You won't be able to create that space. It's not there. But for someone like Jokic, for example, he's a big man. He can make his own space, and he's not all about scoring. He's about passing, and they're a team.
Yeah.
And if he's coming in to be a part of a team, then it might work for him. Especially like you say with the NBA softening up and all that kind of stuff. But I just think, for me, it'd be interesting to see. I'm going to go on I'm going to hesitate on the side of he's been hyped up too much.
So you're going flop.
Not flop.
Flop or not.
Not flop.
Flop or not. Let's play flop or not.
Flop. If it's flop or not.
Yeah.
He's not going to be a superstar.
Ooh.
He's not going to have the best rookie season.
You reckon he'll get rookie of the season?
No.
Ooh.
No.
That's a big shout. I reckon Henderson will. Scoot Henderson was his name?
Yeah. Scoot, yeah.
Scoot.
Yeah.
But it will be close. But do you reckon, another question, will he be an all-star within 3 years?
No.
Ooh. I reckon his third season he'll probably get an all-star draft. Yeah, interesting.
I think he might be one of them that's like a journeyman. I think he might come in, do okay, and be an okay player, be an average player
his career.
Throughout his career, yeah.
And then probably retire earlier than a lot of people would.
Through injury.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Maybe wrong. Been wrong before.
Let us know what you think.
Yeah, let us know what you think in the comments. And like I say, France to the NBA, massive step up. Huge step up.
Yeah.
And France to Spain, huge step up.
Yeah.
Well, let's see. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next one.
Cheers.